I wrote a book. I recently published my first book, and let me tell you what it's all about. Pharmakites is a book about Greek mythology, but it's different from other Greek mythology books because it is narrated by birds. So I'll read for you my table of contents so you could get an idea of what I mean. We have stork, finch, eagle, crane, dove, vulture, owl, rooster, kingfisher, peacock, heron, stymphalian, phoenix, osprey, seagull, mallard, falcon, swallow, bat, lark, cuckoo, cormorant, raven, quail, nightingale, crow, and swan. So each chapter is narrated by a different bird. This is a fantasy novel. It has multiple points of view, and we're following some of the most iconic characters in Greek mythology. The premise of my novel was to connect the ocean in mysterious ways to Greek myths. And I hope you love this book. If you like really immersive books or really lyrically written books, you will love Pharmakites. This is an experimental book. This is meant to be different from other books. It's meant to really challenge the creativity of the reader and the image that you can conjure up in your mind. Also, there's a strong sense of place. There is a lot of descriptions of a magical world. There's a really unique magic system in my book. And I self-published this. I created a publishing house called Asclepius Press to get my work out there, and I also drew the cover myself. So here's the original artwork. This is a watercolor drawing. It's also using pen, but all of the pen is done with dots, so there's no lines at all with the pen. There's watercolor, and I used some metallic markers as well. You can also see some glitter on there, and I actually also used crayons. There's the crayon, and yeah, this is my pride and joy, and I can't wait for you to read my book. You'll notice on the book that the back and the front are the same cover. I was going for something really minimalistic. I wanted the art to stand out. I chose this as the cover because you can see the texture of the feathers. I was inspired to write this book because I love Greek mythology. I love all mythology, and I think there's a lot of profound truths in mythology that modern day authors can draw upon while still creating something totally new. My book is about Medusa and Hecate. You may have noticed in Greek mythology the similarities between Hecate's Furies and Gorgons. So that's something that I really try to hone in on. And you might have also noticed the similarities between Medusa and her connection to the ocean and Aphrodite's connection to the ocean. Another thing with this book you'll notice is the evolution of harpies from women with wings into mermaids and what we would consider to be nowadays as sirens, based on Greek mythology, but you've not read anything like it in other Greek mythology retellings. I know a lot of people want comparable titles for their books, but Pharmakites is meant to be different, so instead I'll tell you my inspirational titles. So of course my book was inspired by Ovid's Metamorphosis. You will see that hopefully in more than one occasion in the book, because I tried to capture the surrealism of Ovid's work and also the truth that he weaves into the mythology. And Ovid is also a character in my book. Another title that inspired me is The Immortality Key. Now, you'll notice if you've read The Immortality Key, a lot of themes come into play in Pharmakites. I spent a lot of my life going into the ocean, and I wanted this book to be doing justice for Poseidon, who is the god of horses and the ocean. So Pharmakites starts with the stork, and we witness the birth of a girl from the ocean. And I hope that each page you'll find to be deeply meaningful and symbolic. A lot of people who read it say that it reads like a dream, and I hope that that's true for you too.